I'm Nick, and this is Kenny. We're the Malt Vault. Strap on. Welcome, everybody, to the MaltVaultPodcast. This week, we are going to enjoy Coors, courtesy of Kenny Quickback.
That's me.
Yeah, courtesy of somebody's basement, right?
Yeah. We're here live in my wife's basement that I get to use. I'm allowed. It's so nice.
It's always somebody's mom's basement.
Yeah, it's my son's mom's basement. So we're here. We're in northwestern of southeastern Ohio, which is mostly centralized area. We're outside Columbus.
For all you Magellans out there, Central Ohio.
Yeah, don't give away too much. We don't want the stalkers coming after us. We've had problems with that before on this podcast, and I don't want to see it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, how's your restraining order going with that?
I don't have the restraining order. She has the restraining order.
Tough look.
Yeah, we're also on an NDA, so I can't disclose a lot of it, but there's just a lot of legal shit that goes into these podcasts that you don't know about. But it's safe to say we're outside of Columbus somewhere. Good luck.
Yeah. I mean, we did all quit our jobs, and we put basically all of our assets into this. I mean, I've already said this once. This is definitely not the second time that we're recording this, because I definitely hit the record button each time. But if I were, I would 100%. Also say again that I sold all of my Slam token.
Yeah.
So to afford this. So I hope this goes well.
Yeah. Click the link to my Patreon page if you'd like to support us. Otherwise, my kids won't eat. So, and that is not a joke.
Is it too soon to say that FTX sponsors us?
It might be too late.
Definitely too late.
I think it might be too late.
Nick, you're streets behind.
They are actually, yeah. I'm so happy that FTX is doing well, because they're literally the only thing keeping me afloat right now. So thank God they're on.
They own my last $20 in my pocket.
They're on the up and up.
I mean,
I'm gonna spend that on pizza.
Nice. On a pie.
Nice. Not Coors.
This is
one pie
guy. But if you were to
cream pie, if you will.
Okay. If you were to die with you don't want to die with all your money. So if I died now and lost hundreds of dollars, that would suck. You got to spend it all before you go.
But you can't time it right. So would you rather spend more?
Well, you got to kill yourself.
Or
not you.
Okay, yeah.
Not you.
It's a little profound, but yeah.
Right when
how do I die, but I didn't mean to die, but I died?
Yeah. So I mean, if you want to time it right, that's the way you have.
$0. But is it the right $0?
Isn't there
what if you got a dollar coming
Justin Timberlake? Where he's got a clock on him.
Yeah,
that's
knows. Yeah, in time.
No, Time Stoppers.
No, that's Clock Stoppers.
Nickelodeon.
I'm confused.
And that's what's his name?
Is this a rated R film?
$40 tells me that you don't know the lead actor of Clock Stoppers, because no one does.
How did you get $40? Is it because I don't have any money left?
Because our first Patreon just came in. And I'm gonna give it to the closest person. Even the guy who did that acting job doesn't remember he was. Are we like a
phonathon? Like we have a scrolling dial that tells us how much money we've made in real time.
Yeah, we're actually negative 2,700.
Actually, we got a call coming in.
How much of that is you?
We got a call coming in right now, so I'm just gonna ignore that. Anyways, Coors Banquet beer is what we're drinking. Coors Banquet beer right now.
How many years has it been around?
50 in binary.
150. 1873. So
we're doing 3 digits.
It's one of those pre-prohibition beers that made it through the fall. It is like a huge monster conglomerate now. So if you're not a fan of big beer, steer clear. That was a lot of rhyming.
Where was it originally founded?
Golden, Colorado.
Oh, so where it currently resides.
And it's still in the same location.
Oh.
That sounds fake.
I don't know.
Talk about planting your roots.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same footprint, but
Could you do roots on a mountain?
Yeah, that's where there's trees on mountains.
Oh. You're gonna say footprint in Colorado and not talk about Bigfoot?
Rootless Tree, new band name I call it.
I like that.
Rootless Tree.
No, I'm
or Fruitless Tree. It all is gold.
It's got a lot of bark.
No bite.
Oh,
damn. All right.
Hey.
So I didn't bring this up in the first time that we didn't do this podcast, but 1873, so 150 years old this year. Happy birthday. Same birthday as Michael Hart.
Oh, yeah.
It's his birthday today. So shout out to Michael Hart.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mike.
It's tough that we're not going to tell a story, but I think he should be here when we do it.
We'll get him in on an episode.
We really need to get that real time. Like he's sitting here and we're talking about him and he doesn't know that it's going to happen. It's kind of like a new era punk.
Yeah, it's like when you bring a bunch of your friends all surprise you like a party, but instead of that, they tell you all the things that you've been doing wrong.
That's called
I've had one of
intervention.
those with my first wife.
Yeah, no, the restraining order one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You got a restraining order from your wife?
unrelated.
first, yeah. Don't worry about that.
How does your current wife feel about this?
Well, it's her basement, so anything goes.
Yeah, so I'm allowed to
All right, as we were.
1873.
I digress.
Coors
Finish.
founded Adolf Coors, right?
Second famous Adolf. Got it.
That
Most
jury's
famous.
still out. Yeah,
Dolph Lundgren.
there's still some lasting effects, I think.
Is it Dolph Lundgren's name Adolf? Or is it just Dolph?
What do you think?
What would the nickname for Adolf be?
I don't know. I don't want to speculate.
You don't want to type Adolf into Google again?
Hold on.
The government's got this guy pegged.
Google it, Kenny.
Pegged is one of my trigger words, so that's on me for saying that.
Are you self-triggering?
I'm still hung up on pegging right now.
Oh, aren't we all? So Adolf Coors.
Hans Lundgren is his real name.
Where'd Dolph come from?
I don't know. Swedish actor, filmmaker.
He's Swedish?
Yeah.
Actor? No, Hans.
Yeah, he's got feathered blonde hair.
Dolph Lundgren was the boxer. Hans Lundgren is an actor, right?
No.
Dolph was a
Lundgren.
fictional. Dolph was a
Hans
fictional.
Lundgren, better known as Dolph Lundgren.
Oh,
He's a Swedish actor, filmmaker. Oh my God, he made his own film and a martial artist.
He's an A-lister, Nick.
I think he's a pretty shitty martial artist if we're being like Sylvester Stallone was like, yeah.
in a prior life, we had a debate.
knocked his ass
that
out.
Nick wanted us to believe that Keanu was a C-list actor. John
that
Wick.
got edited out.
We definitely will not post the audio of that someday.
Yeah, go ahead.
But that just changed my worldview is shaken right now. I'm shook. How is this guy not German?
What's his ethnicity?
Swedish.
Look,
Hans Lundgren is that a Swedish name? Maybe, I'm sure his parents were German. Then
Yeah.
I'm going to tell myself that. We're not going to look it up.
All right.
All right,
Yeah.
back to
I digress. Let's go back to Coors. We're getting
yeah. Sorry,
Adolf Coors, and I think it was Joseph Lechner. Lechner. That doesn't sound right. I got it pulled up here. Jacob Schuler. Sorry, I was way off.
You were way off.
Adolf Coors was, speaking of Germans, Adolf Coors was German. He got his buddy, business partner, Jacob Schuler from Prussia, which that doesn't exist anymore, right?
No,
Prussia?
that's like the Balkans now, and it's like flavor of the week.
fuck
What
is
is
the
our country
Balkans?
named this week?
Yeah.
like her boyfriend.
Like
you don't
Istanbul
know.
was once Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, not
Yeah,
Constantinople.
they might be giants.
That's the band.
I call that band name.
Little Giants?
That's the band.
We are the rock and roll band. Anyways, Jacob Schuler, Adolf Coors found this brewery together. Coors only puts up 2K. Schuler puts up 18,000, and 7 years later he backs out
And you know what I'm going to say?
and was bought out by Coors. So he left.
Paper-handed bitch. The
Here's with some
original.
knowledge.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry for him.
Well, he lost out. I mean, 1880 Coors wasn't what it was today, obviously.
He just couldn't put up with the tussle and bustle.
Yeah, all that hard Rocky Mountain brewing lifestyle wasn't for him.
It's not for everyone.
No.
The beer was originally catered toward gold miners. Obviously, the gold rush was big going on in the late 1800s. Banquet, from what we read, comes from it's as stupid as it sounds. They used to drink it in banquet halls. I don't know.
Or tents.
I don't even think I've been to a banquet hall
A Shriners.
in my life.
This basement, we could.
Little vehicles.
This could be a banquet situation.
Little vehicles, little
Yeah.
people.
Maybe back then.
One more like a speakeasy.
Yeah. Because there's a password.
Yeah,
Maybe
I glued the door shut. You can only get in through the window.
Definitely some eyes wide shut vibes in here.
I feel like there's a lot of
It would
rich
help if you
history.
put pants on.
Nick's not wearing pants.
I'm
Don't pan
totally
down.
wearing pants.
Don't prove it.
Yeah, we're good.
Leave them guessing. Always leave them wanting more.
Abdomen up.
So those two guys started up. It survived Prohibition because they started doing some malted milk and near beer, which is like low alcohol beer, I guess. I think some of the older people might know about that.
I don't drink
like
beer
2%
necessarily.
alcohol. I don't know
for the flavor. I drink it for the reaction that I get.
The implication.
Nick drinks to get sloshed.
Wait, real quick, the malted word that you used.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either, but I know people
What is malt?
from like 2 generations before us really love malted stuff, like milk balls.
Milk balls.
Yeah, disgusting.
It's kind of
Yeah, malt liquor. What's malt? Malt.
I
think it's just a.
I feel like
plant.
we're like doing a cyclical history
grain.
change.
Malted grain. We should know that as a
Dads.
beer review.
Instead
We
of
should
barley.
edit out that.
No, I'm saying we're doing a cyclical thing because like my oldest loves malted milk balls, and I would think that she's an old soul and maybe knits me a sweater.
I would think that you guys should know what malted is because you guys are dads, and that's like a dad thing to know. So that's on you.
I'm a dad to the little kids, though. Or am I?
Yep, jury's out again. Let's not delve into that one.
Where are they?
The kids?
I don't know. I'm supposed to be watching.
You don't hear the tap dancing upstairs yet?
So here's this thing I'm going to hit you with, and
Okay.
you
It's
didn't,
Irish.
no one knew this, and you can tell your buddies at the bar this when they get a Coors. Adolf Coors was a quitter. Okay, because during Prohibition, he jumped out of the window of the Cavalier Hotel in Virginia Beach at 82 years old, and he flew, and he did not survive. He killed himself.
Dude, he probably had $0 left, so he knew how to do it.
He was Justin Timberlake. He
Are
was
we like
now's the
Adolf
time.
Coors right now? We spent all of our
No,
life
because I'm
savings-
alive.
Well, for now.
I mean, if you were a teenager and you didn't jump out of a Cavalier window at some point,
He was 82.
that's asking for
that's
it.
basically teenage years.
It says theories suggest he was depressed due to the effect that Prohibition had on his business. However, others say, and I don't know what others means. This article.
I want to
doesn't
know
say,
what Adolf
that it
Coors
wasn't
says.
suicide and he was pushed out of the window. And it's not. Trust me, it's not hard to push an 82-year-old out of a window.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Please.
ask why
Well-
you know that that's easy.
What's his known list of enemies?
Adolf Coors enemies.
Mr. Miller?
Sure.
Just
Was Miller around then?
I don't know. Let's just say any beer
I'm
name.
going to assume yes.
Google's gonna have to sponsor this. I'm gonna Bing it.
I think they. Yeah.
Mozilla Firefox.
Is it because we don't do? This is a
Oh
no.
my God! There's a whole thing. Adolf Coors' failed kidnapping that led to a murder. The death of an heir. Adolf
This
Coors the
goes
third and his murder. There's so much murder and intrigue.
Is this on BuzzFeed from
There's
like
a lot of murder and a lot of intrigue.
1870 BuzzFeed?
Washington Post.
Well, we should definitely start because this website's called longreads.com, so it definitely won't take no time at all.
So nobody's reading something called long reads. Number one.
Not with today's attention span.
Yeah, I need a vial of Ritalin.
Oh man, this is huge. They have a picture. Look at this picture.
It's a
I wish
map.
I could put it on. Yeah,
Is that a picture of
Here.
Nick Pantless? Never
No,
mind.
it's sure not.
here, try to put this up.
I got you.
It's loud.
Okay, so
So
this isn't going to go to anybody who's listening, so you're going to have to describe it.
I don't know. I just clicked the link for the murder that rocked the American brewing dynasty. 50 years ago, one man tried to hold the Coors Brewery CEO for ransom. Things ended very badly.
I think he might.
That's not right.
I think he might have deserved it.
Yeah,
Looking a little weird.
yeah. Maybe we don't do that.
HDMI.
Yeah, it's fine. We don't have any money into this stuff. So
This is sponsored by Best Buy HDMI cords.
just pop her out of there. We can
Sure isn't.
we can deal it later. All right. The mountains on the can are real. This could be a good trivia fact for you guys. They're based off Wilson Peak in the San Juan Mountains, 11 miles outside Telluride, Colorado.
They're real in the sense that I can't climb them.
Yeah, no, you can. Well, we don't have a pic. These ones. These are here. These are the San Juan Mountains that you probably can't see because neither of those.
You probably also don't recognize them because they're not blue.
Well, they're not on the Coors Banquet cans. Anyways.
They're only on the Coors Light pond water cans.
But this was all obviously prior to their becoming like big beer and turning into the enemy and the man.
Were they
right?
considered big beer early?
No, probably not.
They probably just were considered
I mean,
beer.
yeah. Are you saying like was there big beer early on? Like
Yeah.
who was big beer back then?
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say there would be until like nationwide distribution could happen, right? Because everyone would go to their local brewer for the most part.
And there was still a lot of tariffs and like people that didn't want to look at Yingling.
I think we'll get a good throughout doing this podcast. We'll get a good understanding of distribution timelines and when conglomerations kind of started happening, and like when like Anheuser-Busch went big, and but yeah, Coors was. Well, I had that one site up. Coors was mostly for the Western United States.
Real quick,
go ahead.
You're saying like we're going to be learning things. I want you to speak for yourself. I'm an American. I won't be taking anything away from this.
You don't want to learn shit.
Yeah, I know what I know.
Yeah, I get it.
And what you tell me isn't going to change what I know.
That's fair.
All right.
That's a very open-minded way of thinking.
I had to get that out there.
Makes sense.
Listen, he just learned.
Well, you had to get it out because there's so little room in there for growth that you got to get something out so something more can come in.
It's a zero-sum game in my head.
I like it.
And everyone's losing.
Yeah. So first 100 years,
We're losing money.
Coors was only marketed in the American West, or solely in the American West.
Gotcha. So it's a prairie beer.
Well,
It only had an 11 state distribution area for the first 100 years of brewing. So,
was this like Manifest Destiny, where they only sold in the West, but there were only like 12 people out there, and they all lived in California. You know what I mean?
but reverse Manifest Destiny because they were moving east.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did they do that? After the gold rush? That might be too much. That's a big question.
I mean, they didn't. So 73. So 100 years would be 1973, right? So Washington and Montana were not added to their distribution until 1976. So you're talking about Washington and Montana didn't even have Coors Light, Coors beer. They probably didn't even have Coors Light, but didn't have Coors beer at all in Washington and Montana until 1976. So that's a long time to not have.
Yeah, they were very.
What is today available everywhere in pretty much many countries that you could visit. You're going to find a Coors.
I think it's official that Washington and Montana they're classified as third world countries.
Yeah,
that's what I haven't learned that. I have made a fact, and I'm telling you.
Yeah, Montana's proud of that. Washington just doesn't know that yet. So
Seth doesn't want to learn anything, but he wants you to learn his fact.
Montana don't want anyone to come over there.
Let's like pivot a little bit. Like you're telling us about how like precise they were, and now like think about all the brands that Coors owns now.
Yeah, you still got. You got the quick points on Molson Brewing. That's not even what we're. Well, that's not on the thing anyway. So I'll go through the list. So they've gone from 100 years of brewing, having not even selling their shit in Montana and Washington, or like basically east of, the Western United States, and now they can't see it anyways. Now they own Arizona hard tea, which I'd imagine, does that mean that they own Arizona tea? I don't know. Arnold Palmer spiked drinks, Bergen beer. I mean, I'm looking at a list of hundreds of companies. Black Ice, big notable ones. Blue Moon, Carling is a big one. That's a big multiple country one to grab there. All the Coors, obviously. Foster's, Australia. George Killian's.
Great beer for St. Patrick's Day beer.
Good pickup for them.
Grolsch.
Ice House.
If you're looking for a budget beer.
Keystone Light, Line and Kugel. I mean, that was probably a recent pickup. And then they own the whole Miller line too, like MGD, Miller High Life, Light, all Milwaukee's Beast, all the Molsons. So we got some Molsons out to try as well.
The Molson twins.
Ashley Molson.
And the twins.
Mary Kate. Yeah. Oh, nice. Right, they won't see this whole thing, but
no.
So they own. They bought out Old English too, which is big. Peroni in Italy.
That's great.
Pilsner Urquell, which I believe was a Czech company, something like that. Mm-hmm. Red's Hard, Apple Ale, Red's Wickeds.
Nick, you see if that camera's focused on me? Yeah, you're good. Nick, you have no idea.
Are you recording?
Yeah. Yeah, you're so far away.
I thought you meant like is it on?
Your headphones are falling.
Yeah, I have them in my hand.
You didn't.
Yeah, you look like you're in focus.
Famous last words. All right.
Sorry.
It's all right. We'll just cut all of me later.
It's cool.
Hey, it's you.
Red's Hard Ale, Red's Wicked. Hey, better.
Was that above board?
They own Steel Reserve.
No,
you
but
recording
that
right
should not be mentioned. If you own Steel Reserve, you should probably not
Just hide it.
It's like when you film a movie and the movie's pretty bad, so you just don't put your name on it.
But what about Ice
Have you
House?
seen any new movies?
Very similar.
I've seen some nude movies.
Eyes Wide Shut vibes. Vizzy Hard Seltzer and Zoa, which I think is one of the Rocks brands, but apparently he might
That's
have
a
sold
Miller.
it out.
That's a Miller.
That's Nick's ex-dog.
So what I'm saying is Coors became big beer very fast since late 70s when they finally got, out to a couple more states. They went from there to now purchasing like Molson and Miller. I think that was like 2016. And now they just own, like, they're basically direct competitor to Anheuser-Busch with the amount of brands.
And we'll segue into this later, but like when they started 2006, when Miller's and Molson,
16,
like Coors and Molson became a thing, like a lot of those same brands and those same beers became under that Coors conglomerate. So a lot of those, in my research on Molson, were part of the Canadian/English conglomerate of Molson.
Blue Moon's a big one. I did not know that was Coors, but
Yeah.
good thing to know.
So what we definitely didn't record earlier. Where would you enjoy this beer?
In a banquet.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what a banquet hall is. I'm not 70.
Nobody can say for sure what a banquet hall is unless you were.
It's a subjective term.
If you're in a foreign war, you come back, then you get to go to banquet hall. Other than that, you have no idea.
You haven't been to a banquet since the 90s. No one has said, "Come to my banquet."
Yeah.
It's a party,
Yeah,
right? Or
I
it's
mean,
a
maybe-
gathering, it's a wedding, but you don't say
gala.
we're holding a banquet.
Perhaps Tom Cruise went to one and wore a mask. I don't know.
Oh, you have seen that movie.
Yeah, Nick, where would you? Nick Flair.
Where did you?
if you will?
Yeah. Nikki Quickpack.
Maybe you had an uncle that.
Oh, I do think
So
there's
the
a story.
first time I
about-
ever enjoyed a Miller,
Did you
which
enjoy
is
it?
now, well, I didn't enjoy it. I would say that
Miller or Coors?
I enjoyed the chocolate milk after. It was a Miller Lite, which we found out from our previously not recorded podcast that they actually had not consolidated between Miller and Coors yet, but it was a Miller Lite,
Right.
which now is owned and
2016.
operated by Coors. I had that in a unmarked backyard at a banquet. No, it was a party. Let's skip that childish crap. And it tasted bad.
Well,
I
you
don't
were
know.
like
I was 4 or 5 years old.
You
It was
were
in
4?
the 90s.
So you're used to drinking milk.
Yeah, which
The beer's
coincidentally I did chase with chocolate milk.
not going to hit. You didn't chase.
Well,
You're 4.
I'm saying this now as someone who's old enough to
We at the
drink.
Malt
I
Vault
did
Pack. We at
chase
the
it.
Malt Vault Podcast do not endorse child.
I cleansed
alcohol.
my palate, if you will,
if you
with
just.
chocolate milk.
I mean, if you happen to be at a party and there's underage kids drinking,
You leave right away.
who are you to
the mic's on.
who are you to stop them? Are you the police? Are you the
You also need more friends.
well? When
you're
you're in
at
your
that
when you're in
party.
your 30s, you take all the friends you can get, whether or not they're 4.
Not underage kids.
You don't?
I don't condone that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, after the podcast, we'll talk.
Oh boy.
Cut the mics.
So, anyways, yeah, I don't know. I'll grab a Coors Light if it's free.
I mean, this is
I'm not going to buy
like,
it typically, unless it's the
I'm
only one for
not-
sale. But
I'm not typically looking for a Coors Light to go and just enjoy when I'm sitting down and watching something or conversing. But like on a day after yard work or like
any beer would do though, right?
Yeah, but it's kind of refreshing. But if you want like a bold flavor where you're getting a lot of stuff to it, then I'm
This kind of hits me like a Pabst.
I'm not hitting it. Picking
This
up
banquet
a
hits me
Coors.
like a Pabst. It is full bodied.
It's much better for any of our viewers / listeners. It's much better in the glass bottles. If you ask me, they have those little medicine bottles. If you are lucky enough to find those in your local grocer's mart.
Heroin.
No, I'm not going with heroin, but
The squat.
they have little
bottles.
squat bottles, and they
Yeah.
look like old 1873 medicine bottles. And I
Yeah.
feel like the flavor is much more rich in that.
I remember those from 1873 as well. Did we talk about the ingredients?
I mean, it's malt, which
I don't think it
we've
is.
all kind of delved into the
What do you mean? There's more
hysteria of
than
malt. I mean,
mean,
Golden Colorado. They still claim to use the Rocky Mountain water.
I'm sure they do. That's a large water supply they need to make that beer. That's their bigger. claim to fame is the. I mean, it's on this
Taste
can, I
the
believe.
Rockies.
If it's not
Everything in their
Rocky Mountain
propaganda.
water, it'll never be Banquet.
Yeah.
So it is. So yeah, that's their claim. I think that'd be pretty easily refutable if it wasn't true. I think I believe them on that one.
Well,
my favorite ingredient is corn syrup because that's in it.
that's what makes me
Is it?
diabetic.
Yeah.
There's corn syrup in this?
How we've done so little research that was shocking to everyone here, including me. Yeah.
Really?
That's tough for
Does that give
us.
it the color?
I don't know. That's probably why Nick likes it, right?
It's part of the brewing
It
process.
feeds my
Is that-
diabetic
That's not what.
it's part of the brewing process, but does that mean that
sugar.
What do you like? Would they remove it?
well, it might be burned off at some point? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
We're gonna have to ask a scientist on this one.
I'm trying to get into the Coors website, but
It says that-
apparently the birth date of 1789 isn't accurate.
It said that you're 4. Yeah, actually, whenever we go to these websites, does it screen you based on how old you are? If you put like 130, will it let you in?
No, I just put any date. Yeah, I don't put my actual birth date
Well,
in,
no one does.
but like
Wait, I do.
they don't verify, so why even do it? I think it's obviously a legal disclaimer, but it's got barley, obviously. So the original, yeah, okay.
It's funny that you say that
just a
because
bunch
I know that from my research with Molson,
corns is water,
it's very
barley,
malt liquor. It's like a malt liquor beverage.
water, barley malt, yeast, hops, hop extract, and corn syrup. What is that?
They added more hops to the recipe, man.
No, it's a hop extract. They don't even use fruit. That's sad. Well, that'll be my takeaway from today. Is there's the squat bottle. If you can see that, I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, but
Well, maybe they thought they made up
so
for
that
it.
our viewers can see it.
That's not. They can't.
Okay.
And people are probably just listening to this and not watching video.
Yeah,
that's fine.
probably right.
Actually, probably not. Nobody's listening. So go ahead and pop off whatever you want to say
Not
now.
yet.
No, I just think, I don't know. It's not my favorite, but it's solid. They own too many brands to ever be.
They're too big to fail.
They're boycott proof for sure.
Yeah.
We didn't even get into that. The scabs.
Yeah, the unions and the Teamsters, and I think they're currently not unionized. So it's probably a good place to work if you're not fighting for a union. Right?
unions.
I think that should be an entire episode. Is the
The beer unions.
Unionization of breweries.
the scabs coming in and then taking those jobs.
I like that you threw a little bit of like tidbits and like forecasting into the fact that we're gonna also delve into like conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah.
We have some great.
When
stuff
we get
on
to
that.
Guinness, when we do Guinness, I got a good one
Can't wait.
involving
Can you, tease it.
a high stakes theft or heist even,
It sounds like the plot of Ocean's 11.
and a marketing failure of catastrophic proportions.
Wow.
So
that's all we have for you today on Coors. So we thank you for listening to Kenny and Nick on the Malt Vault podcast.
yeah,
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
strap on.